We have got a simple application here. We have got a conveyor band here, and on this band some bottles will be transferred and our band will be moving. And when I press the button which says transfer the bottles will start moving on the band, pass through my sensors and be collected. Look, my timer here has set and reset roles. When I press the buttons here, look, I have placed the automatic and manual buttons there. When I press the manual, think of it like this. Think that you are controlling it through a PLC or there's a key on a panel, and as long as you have the key, your system will work. Or even if you pull your hand away from the key, the system will keep on running. Think of it like this. As I have told you, when you press this button and here the engine will start, that engine when you pull your hand away will stop. And only when you press the automatic, this conveyor band engine will start running, and even if you pull your hand away from this button, it will keep going. I have used set and resets here, and over here when you press transfer the bottles to the band button, while the system is working, each time you press a bottle will be transferred to the band and the bottles will pass through the sensors. If you do not activate the time roll here, the bottles will pass through, and look, if the timer isn't activated, this will not step in. Why did I use a timer here? You can think of two different scenarios here. Let's say your bottles come in certain patterns. Let's say there had been a problem in the way the bottle is coming in. If there is a time lapse that is bigger than 7 seconds between one bottle passing through and the other, the timer here, it will recognize that as an error. Activate the timer, deactivate the timer as an on-off switch. If you like, I can change its name into timer on, for example. When we say the timer is on, it will be more clear. Of course, it got really big when we did say that, so let's say timer on. When I press that time value, it will start working according to this sensor. And as the system starts working, as I've told you before, system will start working and bottles will be transferred. After a bottle passes, the timer will count 7 seconds, and if the next bottle comes in before 7-second countdown, the timer will get reset. And each time a bottle passes, it will start counting again. And what will happen if it passes 7 seconds? Is that the system, my system here, will come to a complete stop. This is my scenario, and you can always enhance this scenario. And from here, as you can see the value of the counter and the bottle count. If you wish to count the bottles independently without the timer, you can press the timer off button here and see that every time a bottle passes through, the value of that counter will increase by 1. As I have told you, you have an option to enhance this scenario. How can you do that? For example, let's say you can say actualize this process when the bottle count reaches to a certain number. Or let's say if 20 stop the system. You can actualize different processes, like if that number is up to that, start up that system when this happens. From here, with my reset button, I will reset the value of my counter and the timer. Look. Let me show these to you. I will write these into here with my M01 actually. Let me create a tag chart. So let's open up our tag chart. Let's say show all tags from there. There are things I have written here before, I will change them. Here folks, my M01 looks as the system start button from a previous simulation. And I will change that. I also want this to run automatically. I will call this one start automatically, this M01. What am I going to call M02? Look, M02 timer on, we will call it. For M03, I will say timer off. Like that, for example. I will name them according to my own preference. And there has to be an M06 here. I don't know where it is, but let's see. M02 is here, M03 is there. We will call our M06 timer reset. reset or system reset. Let's call the fifth one reset. It's directly reset. It doesn't matter what it is. Over there is our Q02. We will call our MQ02 band motor. Let's call that band motor and accept that we don't have to write too many values. I am naming these because I don't want to mix them. We wrote that, but it didn't show up. Why? I can show you like this. If we do that, I can show you what is what. And these are the other tags we used in our software. Look, our 01 is here, M01, M1.2. These are also here, and I almost forgot to name 01 here. This is important. Our 01 is here. Let's call that manual control button. This will be our manual control button. You can see what is what if you take a look. I have used the Mercury memory field here, and why is that, you think? Because there can be communication problems between this program and the simulator. So, rather than using something like a real key on a panel, I used Mercury memory fields. You can activate the 00 using the button on the PLC or deactivate it. Look. There is the on-off buttons of automation and timer functions. I will pair each of these buttons to different Mercury memory fields and continue working here as if I was working on a panel. And from there, I will be able to watch the system start up and stop. From here, I will be able to watch the system. I have done the necessary arrangements. Now let's do it like this. As you have seen, in our scenario we have done our settings. Our bottles will be transferred onto our conveyor band. Counter will count them and we will set a certain time parameter, and when that parameter gets passed, the system will stop. With these buttons here we will conduct operations like start, stop, automatic on and automatic off. We will conduct operations like this. Now folks, I will put the system into glasses mode. I can see some errors here, or rather some imperfections. There are defects over the things I have done here. Let me do something like this and send the settings to PLC. I have sent them to my PLC. Look, there aren't any errors now. I will open the glasses again. I can't see any problem regarding the system for now. On the other hand, let's try to zoom out the screen, but I don't think we are able to do that. We will zoom out a little bit more. We will make this small, smaller, much smaller. We may have problems here because there are too many fields and there are too many lines here, for example. I will put my system in run mode, and after I put my system in run mode, we will see how it's work. Now the system is in run command. Look, run command is running now, and I can start my system through my PLC by pressing 00 button on the PLC. Or rather, I have got that automatic button right here, remote automatic operation. I mean, when I press that and pull my hand away, the system will get set and keep running like this. I can put any operation into practice as wish. I am going to press the transfer bottles to the band button. Bottles are being transferred to the system. I have got a conveyor band here. Bottles are being transferred, and as you can see, when they pass through the sensor, this sensor counts them, and look, this sensor here also counts when bottle pass through, and each time a bottle passes, counter gains one value, and that value keeps increasing. Each time I press the button, I can add as much bottle to the system as I wish. We will continue to transfer bottles onto the system, and look, let me start up the timer from there. I will start up the timer, and what does the timer do when I start the timer? It can reset its value according to the bottles passing through it. and it can set its value to 0. Look, if no bottle passes for more than 7 seconds, the system will stop. Let me reset this again. Look, I want to start up the system again. It didn't start up. What I will do is I will click off and then I can start the system again, as you can see. Let me keep transferring bottles. Let me keep transferring bottles. I am transferring bottles. Let the bottles come, but as you can see here, my counter is not working now because I didn't activate my timer here. I will activate it. Bottles keep on coming. Look, I will start the timer by pressing on. Let it count. Let the counter count. You see the value of the counter and the situation of the bottles through here. Look, bottle transfer is interrupted. Timer will count to 7 and what happened then? As you can see, my engine has stopped and as you can see the timer's value is 7. I am resetting it. I did it. I wish to stop the system by pressing off and start it again now. And I press the transfer bottles button that is right here. By starting our timer simultaneously, I am trying to have them get the time related values and count the bottles. As you see, bottles are being counted and each time a bottle passes, the timer gets reset. I will reset the system. Before starting it on automatic mode, I will reset the system and it is done. I started it automatically. And as the system starts, I want bottles coming through the band and let me set that too. I am letting tons of bottles come through. These bottles are being counted and during the process I will set my timer through here and look, the timer starts counting. From there I can see the value of both my timer and the counter. In here, the timer waits for 7 seconds and at the end of the 7th second, system stopped as you can see. And with the simple application, I showed you set, reset, timer and counter commands. We will try to expand the applications like this and we will try to explain the working principles of these to you using more complex examples. I hope this has been helpful.